Welcome to Smash Bros. Here we discuss our favorite pulp culture from retro video games, TV shows, movies, comics, wrestling, and all types of other stuff while getting smashed on a couple
or several brews,
which we'll review at the end of the episode. This is Gamer Blurred
and Sam,
and let's get smashed. All right, what's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to episode 3 of Smash Bros. Today's episode is going to talk about Mortal Kombat, specifically the latest movie, but we'll also talk about the games.
Let's tell them what we're sipping on today. I am drinking a hazy double Indian Pale Ale with notes of sticky and tropical juice from Industrial Arts Brewing Company called Torque Wrench. Let me go into the can description. There is no tank. Oh, no.
As we were just talking about this.
Yeah, I was like, we were like, oh, the can descriptions help us do this. So Torque Wrench, it is 8.2% alcohol per volume. Industrial Arts Brewing Company is out of Garnerville, New York. It's actually pretty good. I've had a couple others from them. They actually have, this one's Torque Wrench because I believe because of the tropical juices, but they have one called Wrench and other brews. It's got a fruity taste to it. It's pretty good.
All right. Again, we'll review at the end.
This is my problem. I don't know how to end it without giving a review.
I am drinking Elysian Dayglow IPA. And this one does have a description of the can.
Oh, great God.
So Dayglow crashes the party with the juicy beat of hops, dripping with tropical sunshiny mosaic and sparkling with touches of El Dorado and Centennial. Elysian Brewing Company operates 5 neighborhood locations in the city of Seattle, including brew pubs, a tap room, and a production brewery. Known for innovative and classic styles, Elysian has brewed over 500 recipes since opening in '96 and has won Large Brew Pub of the Year 3 times at the GABF.
Cheers. Oh, by the way, this beer contains wheat, if you didn't realize.
Yeah,
that IPA.
I'm not allergic. But yeah, this is my first Elysian ever. But yeah, we'll review it at the end.
7.4% alcohol out of Seattle, Washington, right?
I'm liking it so far, I can tell you that.
Yep. Nice.
All right, let's get into it. So we are going to talk about Mortal Kombat, like I said, specifically the latest movie. But first, we'll talk about Mortal Kombat in general. So Mortal Kombat is probably one of my favorite fighting game franchises in general. I love fighting games. It's my jam. And I still remember to this day the first time I went to a bowling alley with my mother. She used to be in a bowling league.
Oh,
and we went to this little
cool.
bowladrome, and immediately I was like, I need to go into the arcade section because this is boring. And I went back
was it
there.
Called Bowladrome?
It was the Woburn Bowladrome, Woburn, Massachusetts. Okay. And she gave me like $20, which back then was like gold.
She gave you $20 to get quarters?
It was awesome. Like
she was like, here's 2
like
hours.
62 hours worth of fucking video games. And like you got 20.
She's like, go away.
Yeah, if you got $20 now, that will last you about 3 minutes.
She's like, don't bother.
So I see all these flashing lights, and I see everyone like crowded around this cabinet, and I see this game. And just like it's bloody and loud and awesome, and I'm like, I need to play this as soon as possible. And like I see Sub-Zero rip a spine out of someone's head, and I'm like, this is my game. I love this. This is great. And I've been a Mortal Kombat fan ever since. What about you, Sam?
Mortal Kombat, my first memory of Mortal Kombat was, to be honest, fighting games I do enjoy, but I don't seek out as much. Fighting games usually like what you play with your friends. It's like when they're around. But Mortal Kombat was the first time I had it. I was, I I had to be like around a terrible age of 5 or 6. And Joe Bowl, my next door neighbor in my apartment complex, had Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis. And I always played as Raiden. And I remember when you got the fatality, Raiden, I think, had the easiest fatality. So you just shocked him. But that was like Mortal Kombat, like and it's so funny now looking back on it, how like kind of in a way terrible the graphics were, but at the time great because it was real humans just doing the moves. But Mortal Kombat, to be honest, the best thing about it, and we can get into it later, but back then was a button masher.
Oh yeah,
you just like whatever you had could press, and then you would trap someone in the corner. They couldn't do anything. But that was my first, was
leg sweep,
uppercut, put him in the net.
Jump kick.
Oh, I'm Sub-Zero. I was just going to freeze you the whole time, punch you, freeze you, punch you,
Actually,
punch you.
You know what's funny about that you say that? So my brother made a MAME cabinet. So MAME. I'm not sure if you guys know about that, but it's basically an emulator, which is awesome. I want to build one at some point.
Oh, I thought
but
you
it
were
has
legit explaining to them what memes were.
No, not memes. MAME. Which
I was like ME, yeah.
To be
everyone
fair,
knows what those are.
I don't know if MAME actually stands for anything, but I just know it's an emulator. It's really cool. At least that's what he's told me about it. But he has like every arcade game ever. So I went over to his house and he showed it to me. He had made it last Christmas, and he brought up Mortal Kombat 2. And I immediately, it was like riding a bike. I went back to all my old habits, and it was just like jump kick, slide with reptile, the ball, like acid spit. It was the best thing ever. And yeah, like there's no other just like game as great as Mortal Kombat Attack.
Well, I mean, the craziest thing is thinking about it, like, because I didn't literally, like, so many words. Linearly?
They say literally or
like linear?
Linearly?
Is it linearly? Whatever.
We'll
I didn't follow it. Like, I was at 1, 2, 3, like go through all of them. Like Mortal Kombat, like I like Mortal Kombat, and I thought I think it's like a really good game. But as I said, fighting games weren't really my jam when I played games. But it is funny going from the first one to like Sega, and then like PlayStation. Like I went into was it one PlayStation? Because I remember going into a kid's apartment. Again, these are all apartments. All my stories are going to be apartments anytime I'm like anywhere underneath the age of 8th grade. So I was in an apartment playing that one, and that's when you had who was the guy who wore that red he wore the red suit and had I wish I did more research. Red suit and had the 2 hooks almost.
Cabal?
Yeah,
yes.
And then you watch it, like then the graphics got better, but it's still a button masher. That was great. The last time I ever played Mortal Kombat, other than today with you, 2 times. One, I played against a girl who owned the game. This was back in my nice single days. She bit my ass the whole time when I was at her house. I still got to make out with her, so I guess it didn't matter. And the last time was when I got really drunk, and it was a real good adult at my son's 10th birthday party. And we got him a video game truck, and I like won the first match, and then got my ass kicked for the +3. Like the problem is, you can get them all down to the end. And then for some reason, everybody, like you, I can figure out what I'm doing. But Mortal Kombat is like, especially when you get into it, like doing the research for this, the storylines are pretty intricate. They're like actually pretty decent storylines. I mean, like some are convoluted. I mean, you make 11 games, like there's only so much you can do. Like Square Enix, like if we get into it, Final Fantasy, you can get one, 4-disc episode of a game you have no idea what's happening until you got Wikipedia up. But like they're actually pretty good. But now that we're getting into like, I think I'm going to transition this over to the movies. Like the games are so good, and like the storyline is like, it fleshes itself out really slow. And then I love when you're reading it, you're like, that's not what I got from it. But I love that you got to you go up. Katana had the cool fans. You got Liu Kang, who does the bicycle kick, like basically Bruce. Like I mean, he was definitely just supposed to be Bruce Lee. But then you got Sub-Zero, and then you got the old school like iconic like Scorpion. Get over here! Like I mean, there was a lot of cool Jax has metal arms. Like there's a lot of cool things about Mortal Kombat that I think that like honestly like they don't portray well.
Yeah, and I don't know why. There is so much canon between 11 games, and every single time they try to make a movie, they're like, nah,
let's not do that.
Nah, we're gonna do our own thing. And
let's be fair. Okay, now seeing the newest one, which is Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
Which because we're in the age of reboots now. Which I'm.
No, go ahead, say, because I think I know what you're going to say.
Okay, so I'm not against reboots because the 90s was an era of terrible graphics, but they were trying, they were trying, right? They were trying hard with their graphics. They're trying hard with their storytelling. Like now we can use CGI mixed with real life, like any Marvel movie. You're like, okay, this could be like you could do something now, right? Especially listen, the '90s is when Marvel had to sell all rights. It's the reason why we got 6 X-Men movies.
Yes, I saw Blade.
Yeah. Blade Trinity, though, which let's be honest, the best part of that was Ryan Reynolds and Triple H, but Blade Trinity was terrible.
So we're definitely gonna get into that.
Yeah, we do the Blades, but which I'm really excited for. Ali's Blade. Is that supposed to be animated, or is he supposed to be like?
No, it's supposed to be live action.
Oh, isn't he like 90 though? Like in the age. That's the thing with Marvel is they find an actor that's great, and then they're like, he's Blade, and he's 45, and you're like, that's not a young up and coming actor.
Hey, black don't crack.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen it.
I'm black. It's okay.
Yeah, he is. That's why they call him the Gamer Blurred, and I am white Irish Sam. But anyways,
don't cancel us.
If you go into the movies, like where I was going with it, like they had the tournament style back in the 90s, trying to do that. Like the 90s movies, they're doing Liu Kang's in it, like they're doing what you're supposed to do with the movie. You know what I mean? Like based off the video game. Can you tell the story more fluidly? Can you tell the story with a little bit more depth? I mean, like, can you no, there's a lot of depth, but like, can you do it?
Do you need to? It is a death tournament.
It is okay. So, well, you know what? If you really think about it, Enter the Dragon was very successful, and
right.
I mean, like, it's not like Bruce Lee was always like killer on dialogue. I mean, he was badass. I guess. Yeah, I mean, like, basically, it should have just been like Enter the Dragon. So, which, by the way, going to throw it out there, Christopher Lambert was a fucking fantastic Raiden.
He actually really was. I will 1,000% agree with you on that.
The Raiden?
Complete white dude.
Yeah.
But I know whitewashing is not a cool thing nowadays, but did we really establish that
Christopher Lambert was Highlander?
Do we need to establish that Raiden was Asian or anything in any of the games? I don't think it ever really was. And he was an elder god.
Elder god, and you still had like Liu Kang. I mean, like Liu Kang was I was about to say Keanu Reeves, but he's Japanese. But if Liu Kang came out in the 90s as Tom Cruise, everybody could be mad about that. But like Raiden, and I this is me like now backtracking everything, but like Raiden being like in this movie was so fucking
useless.
Who the fuck are you? Like you suck. So let's
get into this.
Rein me in.
You're already getting into it.
Rein me in.
All right. So I had to watch this piece of trash again just to go through it. So let's actually just break down the movie.
Which is great because I actually see his notes, and this is him watching the movie, writing notes.
Yeah, I was actually sitting in bed watching this and just like typing on my phone, going through this. So
this is your wife going, not again.
Actually, she did say, she was like, didn't you already watch this? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but we have an episode.
I got to do research and it really sucks right now. But my favorite part about this whole movie, like not the actual favorite part of the movie, but my favorite part about this movie in general is that they showed a 7-minute trailer to bait everybody into this movie. And it was just the beginning of the movie. And then it spiraled down from there. So they were like, hey, we're going to show you this awesome part but everything else is gonna fucking suck.
Which is so funny because they actually came out, and I'll look up the name of it, but they actually came out with an animated version of this. Which so the 7-minute part of this, I think it's called like Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge, which I watched before watching this. Fantastic movie.
Of course.
Fantastic movie. Oh, are we watching the good storyline of like how he goes to the Netherlands, like becomes a warrior of it, and then now can actually come out of it to avenge his family? Oh. And then like not only that, the first 7 minutes have two legendary martial artists go at each other. Like which I'm not even just continue.
Yeah. So it starts out, Bihan comes in. Sub-Zero.
Yep.
Not called Sub-Zero just yet, whatever. He murks everyone in the Shirai Ryu clan, as well as Hanzo Hasashi's wife and kid. Hanzo, who was out getting water, fucking realizes some is afoot, races back home, sees them frozen.
I like how you say he's just getting water.
We
gotta get some water. Like it's always when you're going to like you have an errand to run. It's like you always that's what happens.
That is always my fear. I'm like, I'm gonna go out and I have to go to the grocery store and I'm gonna come back home and like shit's just going down. Sub-Zero fucked up my wife and all of my kids. But so like
that's your fear. Sub-Zero comes in and punches you. Okay.
Maybe not Sub-Zero, just something in general. Anyways, like all these ninjas pop out, which I'm gonna at this point, I will admit, like it gets pretty dope. Hanzo works all of these ninjas with his swords, and then just to top it off, he grabs, of course, the spear. And not gonna lie, I was like, oh, when he grabs the spear, the rope, and he just washes all of these ninjas. So after that, he's like, Bihan! And chases after him. Which, something that I didn't get the first time, and it confused me even more the second time I watched it, is Bihan clearly speaks Japanese and Chinese because he speaks Japanese to Hanzo's wife, and she understands him. But to Hanzo, he speaks Chinese, and Hanzo's like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, if you're a cold-blooded killer, wouldn't you want them to know, like, what's about to go down? Like, was this supposed to be disrespectful? If it is, like, let us know in the comments or something, like, whatever.
Maybe it's like I don't get it. At the same time, like, to let him know, like, you know, just so you know that the, like, maybe it's to the two clans, or like they know that it's an invasion or something like that. Like, so Chinese was to like solidify, you know, like to solidify that this is who's f***ing you up.
Yeah, but like if you can speak the language, just speak the language,
and then just like give a little bit of the exposition.
Like, yo, I'm gonna f*** you up. I want you to understand right now. I'm about to f*** your shit up. I don't want you to not understand what I'm about to say. I don't get it. But all right, whatever. So
I don't know. Maybe it was just like you know, it's like again, like the director's like, oh, you know what? Which, by the way, I would have to look this up. Is the actor was from The Raid, right?
Yes.
So the actor who's playing Sub-Zero, and I will look it up right now. Is in The Raid, which is an Indonesian film.
Good point.
Yeah, so he's Indonesian.
Well, it's still Asian.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but at the same time, it's just like, so he's from like, and then they're like, have like, and you know that the director's like, yeah, speak Japanese to the wife, let her know, and then he's like, you know what? Also, hit him up with some Chinese. It's like, why are we going like? So he's just like a nice, cool, broad spectrum thing. All right, cool. I mean, I love it's very cultural.
So in this trailer, in the beginning of the movie, like really good martial arts. Hanzo gets folded like laundry, which, okay, I guess it's story. Scorpion always gets killed, typically in every single game.
I wish he fared a little better.
Yeah, he got sliced up. Speaking of which, like, I know we're supposed to suspend belief. This is a game where people are pulling off fatalities and then somehow show up like the next game. But like he has literal multiple stab wounds and is like gouged and survives just long enough for a dramatic death and then disappears in fire, which absolutely no explanation. I'm not even sure. Do they say like this is the fire garden or anything? Like, is there any sort of connection to hell, fire, like whatever?
Joe Taslim, by the way.
Yeah. All right. So now that Scorpion's dead, he apparently went to hell, which they won't explain until later.
Hanzo. Scorpion is his name. Later.
It's Hanzo. The second half of episode 3 will continue in a moment. If you would like to hear the full, unadulterated version of this episode, please subscribe to the Smash Bruh podcast, which you can find on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. But for now, let's keep getting smashed.
The creator of Mortal Kombat and The Miz came out, like someone came out and The Miz came out and says like, I would love to play Johnny Cage based off someone like suggesting him. And the creator of Mortal Kombat was like, he's not wrong. I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, The Miz is a great fucking cast.
Was it Ed Boon?
The creator?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I will tell you, like, so I follow Ed Boon on Twitter, and he is the world's greatest troll. I love how he interacts with like fans, because if you guys don't follow Ed Boon or like Mortal Kombat in general, Mortal Kombat fans are fucking terrible. All they do is bitch and complain about what they don't have. Like Melina, before she was in Mortal Kombat 11, like all it was we want Melina, we want bigger boobs, we want this, we want that, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, okay, like you guys, like I'm not giving you shit. And then he finally was like, you know what, like you guys suck, just do it. And he did it. And he was like, you know what, you guys, I was gonna do it all along anyways. Like I love Ed Boon. He's great.
Yeah, that's fun.
So
there's actually a fun fact about this, the whole Mortal Kombat trilogy. I actually read this. A planned third Mortal Kombat film called Mortal Kombat Devastation was initially developed with Christopher Lambert, Lyndon Ashby, Adana Maripis, Robin Shue, Chris Casamassa, Keith Cook, Lynn Williams, Carrie Taylor were hired to the cast of Raiden, Johnny Cage, Quincy, Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Jax, and Shang Tsung, respectively. Talisa Soto and Sandra Hess were in talks to reprise their respective roles as Katana and Sonya Blade. Matthew Marsden was said to have been considered the role of Curtis Stryker, while Dolph Lundgren was in talks to portray Shao Kahn.
Okay.
Yep.
Way better than
hired to direct with Drew McWeeny from Ain't It Cool News and his writing partner Scott Swang working on the script. Russell Mulcahy, this was supposed to be in the 2000s, was later hired as a replacement to direct. And then it took over the writing scripts, everything that happened, which would have had Johnny Cage resurrected to help the heroes against Quan Chi and resurrected Shang Tsung. According to Casamassa, production was halted and eventually never happened due to Hurricane Katrina destroying most of the sets.
Fucking Bush.
After plans for the third films fell through, the film rights went to Warner Brothers, which they decided to reboot the film. Which, by the way, in what? When was Katrina? 2004, 2005?
Yeah.
So it took them 15 minutes. Yeah, and then
development hell.
Here's what I can't stand, right? Warner Brothers can make a fucking great cartoon.
Yes.
Their Warner Brothers animation is fucking phenomenal. Mm-hmm. You go on to HBO Max or wherever you can find any of the Warner Brothers stuff, right? Batman Bad Blood, like you find all like the Reign of Superman, like all like Hell to Pay, the Suicide Squad, all their fucking animation is fucking phenomenal. You're like in like hour 15 minutes, hour 40 minutes, telling a tight story you want to watch. The second they take that same fucking storyline to a live action thing, they fucking
like
have us like
the animation team's like, all right, guys, like, what are we doing? All right, who got the donuts? All right, cool. What are we gonna do? They're like, all right, we have comic 1 through 15. Got it.
Okay.
We're gonna take these panels, we're gonna put it into an animated episode.
Makes sense.
We're gonna make a movie. They're like,
Got it.
Cool. Like, let's do that.
It's cool. We can do that. Yeah.
Then the same squad goes into live action.
So like with these people,
like, what are you doing? Right, who brought the coke? Cool. Let's go. Mad Lib.
Yeah.
Right,
Arcana.
All right. Give me a noun.
Cole.
All right. Cool. Cole, and give me an adjective.
Bad MMA fighter.
Bad MMA fighter. All right. And give me a verb.
What's a verb? Like
We'll run with it. We're gonna take this guy who used to be an old MMA fighter. His name is Cole. He is going to get Arcana. He's gonna have the ability to take a punch. He's gonna be the protagonist of the new Mortal Kombat film.
Great, I love it. Continue.
Got it.
Give it to him.
Done.
Which, by the way, who's the director? Let's look at the director. I remember looking this up and being like, yeah, I could see why. Sing a song, so there's not a lot of downtime. No, but the thing with the Mortal Kombat was like it's not a bad movie. So again, this whole storyline's not terrible.
It should.
Again, it's one of those things where the storyline's not terrible. You're like, okay, there's chosen warriors who's had stuff. It's just always executed terribly.
But this is the thing. So, Mortal Kombat Armageddon is actually one of my favorite games. I played every single Mortal Kombat.
By the way, is that an RPG?
Kind of. I played every Mortal Kombat except for 4 and 10. 4 was on purpose because it looked like garbage.
It was garbage.
10 was just completely by accident. I still want to go back and I want to play it. But like Mortal Kombat Armageddon was awesome. It had the protagonist. His name was Taven, and he was not in any other Mortal Kombats, but he was like the guy that you trained, and he had Bull Show. You like learned how to get all these different moves, and you fought. Why not use that? Like, who's this guy Cole? Why? Why when you go into something like that? There's plenty of avenues they could have taken to this movie, and they were just like, nah.
Or just do Liu Kang differently.
Yeah. Like, why not not just do the natural?
Because the thing is, okay, so you don't want to be Liu Kang being the protagonist. Give me Johnny Cage.
They could have went Johnny Cage in this whole movie. They could have went Johnny Cage like right outright, and it would have been fun.
Oh, fun fact about this dumbass director. It's his first movie.
Of course it is. All right, we're done with this movie.
All right, so it's Smash Review time. Which one I do? Torque Wrench from Industrial Arts Brewing Company, Hazy Double India Pale Ale, which A stands for IPA. 8.2% alcohol per content. I give it I don't know, what's our rating system?
So we need to flush this out.
Yeah, we should do this. I give it 4 Mario.
So we'll do a 1 through 5 rating.
1 through 5, okay.
Give it a little
I'm giving it a video game like am I giving it like a pop with a video game?
Give it your old dad junkie rating.
Oh, on the spot. I give it a 4 out of 5. It's actually really good if you like IPAs. The haziness with the juice. I love juicy IPAs. Like it does create like kind of like sometimes it's like a tanginess. And if you're not ready for it, you're like, bleh. But IPAs are actually a big palate things that's I'll start reviewing lagers and things like that after not after this one because I have another IPA. Is it an IPA? Yeah, it's a double IPA for the next one. But I will but with it's with the juiciness, it actually creates a citrusy feeling. So I'll give it 4 out of 5. I will come up with something cool like 4 hearts out of 5, or like I give that 4 master swords.
I like that. We're gonna flush this out. I have the Elysian Dayglow again. Again, this was like a 7.5 India Pale Ale as well. So for me, I will give this a 4 out of 5. It was very delicious. Definitely had a lot of tropical notes in it. And I'll say that the Dayglow gave me the glow up.
Whoop whoop! I can't wait till we have a bad one.
I know. Actually, like
3 out of 3 with like real good beers.
Come back for episode 4 because I might give a bad one for the next beer. I've already dipped into it.
All right.
But all right, if you like what you listen to, subscribe to our podcast as well as our YouTube channel. You can also find me on Instagram as that 8-bit life. Sam will eventually get his own Instagram as well.
I mean, mine's at SEC87.
I still say follow him.
Yeah, it's a lot of my like just me with my kids.
It's cute.
Thank you. I should probably find ones for beers and stuff, but at the same time, like. And once I flesh this out, my kid wants to start the YouTube channel, so follow him once that gets up and running.
It won't be as bad as this.
I mean, he's not bad. So he plays Arsenal Roblox, and he's actually pretty decent at it. So
really?
like, I kind of want to see what happens.
Kind of hope I can start this. All right, cool. Anyways,
so we're gonna
see you next episode.